Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me today for another cigar review. Today I'll be smoking the Trinidad Espiritu Series number 3. It's a 6x54 Toro with a Mexican San Andres wrapper and Nicaraguan binder and fillers. Got a nice defined box press to it. Off the wrapper I'm getting lots of chocolate, a little bit of earthiness, and a little bit of kind of like a dried fruit raisin type note. Now that I think about it, this is actually the first non-Cuban Trinidad that I'm ever going to smoke. So obviously two brands don't really have anything to do with each other, same as all the other, Cuban, non-Cuban, Monte Cristo, Cohiba, whatever. It's just, at this point, just the same name. So Trinidad Espiritu Series number 3. This is a collaboration between Rafael Nodal and AJ Fernandez, and it's supposed to be in celebration of the Mexican Dia de los Muertos. So excited to give this a shot. I have been a fan of most well-blended Mexican San Andres wrappers over Nicaraguan binder and filler. So excited to get this light up. Being it's a 54 ring, I'm gonna go with my favorite V cutter here, the Colibri V. There's a link in the description if you're interested in purchasing your own. Right at light up here, cold draw, just very much a chocolate muffin note, period. Not a whole lot, nothing else really, just straight up chocolate muffin. First couple of puffs here. This is one of the few cigars where that cold draw note comes through pretty much intact to the first few puffs. I'm getting like a chocolate breadiness on the palate. Tons of white pepper spice right now on the retrohale. But off to a pretty good start. Excited to see how this develops, and I'll check back in at the end of the first third. About at the end of the first third here. Nice enough looking ash, but pretty weak, likes to fall off in half-inch chunks or so. Straight enough burn line. It's a medium plus on strength, medium body, medium flavored. The smoke on the mouthfeel of the smoke on the palate is heavy, but a little bit drying on the finish. So once the smoke leaves your mouth, the way it feels in your mouth feels like it should leave a kind of more of a creamy type of finish, but it's actually a bit drying on the palate. Flavors didn't evolve a whole lot, still predominantly chocolate, a little bit of espresso, and a little bit of an oaky woodiness type of note. Spice is just black pepper and white pepper, not getting any kind of cinnamon or baking spices, things like that. So not a lot of nuance, not a lot of complexity right now. And it's definitely brash. So borderline harsh on the back of the throat, but not quite to an unpleasant level, but it's definitely not the smoothest smoke texture that you'll find. So off to a decent start. What's there is nice, but again, there's a little bit of that brashness and just not a whole lot going on besides the main tones, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, right? You're not always looking for a cigar that has a ton of complexity, but pleasant so far. Let's see how it develops into the end of the middle third. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, I do really enjoy the shape of this. Typically box presses will have one side that's longer, so it'll be more of a flatter profile. This one's almost a perfect square, and I do like to rotate my cigars as I'm smoking them. I find it keeps the burn line a little more even. With a lot of box presses, you can only do a full kind of flip, but this one you can actually go 90 degrees, and it feels fine in the mouth. It doesn't feel awkward in the mouth. So do like the shape. I just wanted to note that. I'll check back in at the end of the middle third, probably right through where that secondary band is. About at the end of the middle third here, draw has been great. Construction has been close to perfect, just a slight waviness in the burn line. Still medium plus in strength, maybe ramped up a little bit, but not quite to the point of medium full. Body, medium plus now. Flavor, medium plus now. So everything's ramped up a little bit. It's smoothed out a little bit, so not getting that brashness at the back of the throat anymore. Still chocolate as the predominant note. That kind of oakiness is largely gone, still getting a little bit of it on the finish. And the espresso note comes and goes. Sometimes it's a very strong espresso note. Other puffs, it's almost not there on the palate and just get a little bit on the finish. In terms of spice notes, still not getting much besides black pepper and a little bit of white pepper on the palate. Retrohale, getting more of the white pepper. So it's a pleasant smoke, not the most complex. Again, that's totally okay. Certainly occasions where you would want a cigar like that. The mouthfeel, still, it's a very full, kind of full-bodied mouthfeel on the palate. On the finish, it's a relatively short finish, and the texture is still a little bit drying on the palate during the finish. But yeah, so all in all, pleasant smoke so far. What I typically look for, or I look forward to in these Mexican San Andres wrapped Nicaraguan cigars, is kind of that like Mexican spiced hot chocolate type of profile. I'm not quite getting that right now. It's missing the sweetness. I'm not getting any sweetness at all on the cigar so far. So if that was there, it would be much better, and I would like to see some more of those baking spices come through in this final third. But we'll see what happens. Check back in at the end. About at the end here. Construction, draw has still been perfect all the way through. Medium plus on strength, body, and flavor. Bit of evolution in the final third. Chocolates come down a little, and that espresso is more of a dark, rich coffee. So the coffee is definitely the prominent note now. Chocolate's taking kind of a backseat to the coffee. That oakiness has come back. Still no real spice profile besides black pepper and white pepper. Yeah, very flaky ash. And that brashness has come back a little bit in this middle third. So to me, this tastes like a very young cigar, kind of that like youthful brashness that generally will mellow out with age. So I feel like this cigar does have some aging potential. I don't know that it'll become a phenomenal cigar, but I think it will improve with age. I think that brashness will fade a little bit, and some of these more prominent notes like that chocolate and that coffee, if they mellow out a little bit, hopefully hopefully more of a spice profile will develop, and you'll be able to taste some of the complexities and nuances a little bit more. Right now, everything's kind of just overshadowed by that really big, bold chocolate and coffee note. Finish is still very drying, so not my favorite there. A little bit of a mineralic note in this final third as well. Nothing crazy, nothing unpleasant, but definitely wasn't there in the earlier parts of the cigar. So this is the first of a 5-pack I have. So I'm gonna smoke a couple more. I'm gonna let them rest for a few months, probably at least 6 months before I try another one. Do the rest, and I see a good amount of improvement or evolution, I'll do a redux on it. But yeah, so all in all, pleasant smoke. How would I rate it? I'd say it's worth trying a few. So not a bad smoke, pleasant, has its place, but not one that I'd come back to often. Based on this experience, again, if I see a difference in subsequent cigars, I'll do a redux. But yeah, I'd say worth trying a few. Definitely not 5-pack worthy based on this experience. There's just so much else out there in this same price range that would be 5 or 10-pack worthy. They're just much more enjoyable smokes. So there you have it. Would love to hear in the comments below your thoughts on the Trinidad Espiritu Series 3 or any of the other Espiritu series, if any of them are any better. Thanks for watching and enjoy your smokes.